Community Weekend Pop-Up Plunder. The loot-seeking spectacular returns. Sea of Thieves social channels offer clues to hidden caches this community weekend. Not really interested. Not really interested, to be honest. Sign in the chat. I gotta sign in. Oh yeah, that's right. I've recently changed passwords. I got two-step authenticate. Yes, that is me. Alright, there we go. I am logged into the chat now. Awesome. And I'm actually gonna move this over on this side. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. That'll work. That will work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm streaming today because, oh yeah, I forgot. I need to actually let people know I'm streaming. I need to put this in Discord and whatnot. Announcements at everyone. Yup. Streaming some comics discussion and Sea of Thieves. I hate how Discord now will say, hey, maybe you shouldn't at everyone before you send the message, and you gotta press enter twice. I am the owner of the server. I think I will decide whether it's appropriate for me to do at everyone. I think I will decide that. Thank you very much. Anyway, let me put it on Twitter too. Why not? Streaming some comics talk and Sea of Thieves. I genuinely don't know what I'm gonna do whenever Sea of Thieves closes its servers, because, like, this has just become my go-to game to play whenever I'm not working on art or something. Like, if I just want to relax, like, I just play Sea of Thieves, man. I don't know what it is about this game in particular. I really just don't know. Because I've tried playing, like, you know, I've been playing some other games and stuff like that, but this has just always been my go-to. Like, even, you know, Marvel Rivals, I like it, but I find myself, if I just want to relax, I just go to this game, and oftentimes after work, I just want to relax. I don't want to get into some heated competitive battling. What? I don't want to, you know, get into it. So sometimes most of the time I'll say, I just play this game. That, and, like, you know, I'll do a little bit of, like, Marvel Snap, Pokemon Pocket, and Balatro. I do be playing Balatro on my phone. It's a pretty good game on the phone. I will admit it's a pretty good port to mobile. The only thing is, my phone, like, I have a flip phone, and you may be asking, what are you doing with a flip phone in 2025? Well, it's a touchscreen flip phone. And I got it. I wanted it because I miss flipping my phone, man. I remember having a flip phone back in the day. And whenever I got a smartphone, I was like, yo, this is so cool. I've got, like, all the modern apps and stuff. Oh, come on, game. Don't start with the teleporting already. Anyway, I was like, wow, this is so cool, you know? I've got all the new apps and everything. I can FaceTime people and whatnot. And I did have an iPhone. I think it was an iPhone 4. At some point, I think I did have an an iPhone, but at the same time, I was also just like, I miss having my phone. Is there any way I can show the chat but not have OBS open on my screen? I would really like that. If I could not slow down my computer by having it open constantly, that'd be nice. I wasn't noticing any performance lag, but on the OBS monitor, it did look a little laggy. And I think that's just the playback. I don't think it's a stream. If the frame rate is laggy on stream, someone comment it, please. But anyways, this game is just fun, man. When it closes down, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because inevitably it's going to, right? You know, not every game is going to be like TF2 and last, 17 years at this point. 18 years, almost. You know, it's just not going to happen for many games. I mean, it didn't even happen with Overwatch. And speaking of Overwatch, like, I've seen that it's starting to make a resurgence. The new update they did actually did change up the gameplay a little bit with the perk system. I can't let myself get back into Overwatch. I just can't do it. Like, I've already been betrayed by them in every conceivable way. Not just with the gameplay, but with, monetization. I've been betrayed in that. I've been betrayed in just all sorts of ways with the game. The lies that they had, that they said they were planning for stuff, all of that's just like completely false. You know what? I'll take Cheems. Give me Cheems. All of it was just completely false, and I can't give them my trust again. I can't do it, unfortunately. I'm not that kind of guy where I'm a fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'll never be fooled again type of guy. Actually, let me put up Cheems because my actual dog will bark. My actual dog will bark if this dog starts barking on the game. But yeah, I just can't allow myself to get back into Overwatch, even though the perks seem like a cool idea. It's just, I don't know. It's not really what I wanted. I'm glad they went back to 6v6 and all that, but, the perk system to me is just like, that's just one more thing you had to learn for every single character in the game. And I'm like, you've already got 40 characters in this game. Why are we making it even more complicated? Like, what's going on? It's sort of, and it's inevitable for them to have a lot of characters, but I think adding on to the fact that the characters can now be played in multiple different ways, it's just sort of like, it feels like almost like League of Legends, where there's just so much, it's impossible to know everything, and if you do know everything, you're a loser. So it's like, it's a lose-lose for me, and I just don't want to do it. I just really don't want to do it. But I wanted to talk about a few things. Just some stuff that I've been thinking about as far as like, comics, as well as some shows I've been watching. And I want to just give my thoughts on everything. Holy crap. That's a early fire. They usually don't fire this far out. Let me actually go to the left side. No! I won't be able to give a very well-organized thought on it, anything while I'm fighting these guys, but once the fort is done, I'm going to talk a little bit about the shows I've been watching. One of which I watched a month ago, Fallout show, and one I'm watching currently, and enjoying for the most part right now, Daredevil Born Again. So let me plug these holes and then do the fort, and I will talk about those shows. I'll give you my thoughts. My review on the shows so far. Let's see, where's the cannonball crate? There it is. This is weird. They're not supposed to have that stuff in it. It's kind of strange. I don't think I've ever seen a cannonball crate have any loot in it other than a cannonball barrel, I should say. Any loot in it other than just regular cannonballs. That's odd. That is odd. I won't complain though. Let me make sure my sales are up. The whole point of me coming here and doing a Seafort raid is because it's very good for a few reasons. One, oh, I've been spotted. Very good for materials, which you're going to need for what I'm planning on doing. What is it that you're planning on doing, you ask? Well, I'm planning on fighting the Megalodon. The new update has made 2 new boss battles that you can randomly encounter, or you can intentionally go after them. And I've been hunting these things ever since the event began, just because it's a lot of fun. And 2, because the loot they give is pretty good for the new alliance, the new guild, the Hunter's Call. Hunter's Call have been around for a while, but it's only ever been fishing, and obviously that is not the most interesting. Ah! Curse you! But the you know, fishing has not been my favorite thing to do in this game. I don't mind doing it, but it's not really something that I go out of my way to do. And so now that there's like a new way to level that up and grind it out, I've been rocking the Hunter's Sail and just non-stop doing that for several weeks at this point. It's probably only been 2 weeks, but I digress. Oh. You in here? Yep. All right. But yeah, I mean, it's just been it's a fun boss battle. It's actually challenging. It's not easy at all. It's actually a really big challenge to manage all your resources and, you know, plug in the holes and returning fire and trying to do, you know, maximize how much damage you're doing at all times. It's just been very fun in that regard. And I think it's coming off of the previous update, which was probably one of the worst updates this game has ever seen. We needed a big win, and this was a big win. This was, in my opinion, I think this update has been a big win. And there's more to come, but I think this is probably the best of it. I don't think anything that comes out of the update in the next coming weeks will be anything crazy to write home about. But at the same time, I think what we've gotten already is, you know, substantial enough for me to be satisfied. With for an update like this. So I think they minimized what they did last season and they maximized this season. That's what I think they did. And you know, obviously that last season was pretty bad. It had a lot of people discussing, you know, the life of the game going forward. And look, inevitably this game is going to die at some point, and I will be very upset because it's one of my favorite games to play. But it's already lasted a good time. It's already lasted like 8 years. Now, granted, there's still quite a bit of problems with the game functionally that still have not been fixed, and it baffles me how that can be. How a game this old, run by Microsoft, one of the richest companies in the entire world, how they couldn't manage to, you know, do the bare minimum of fixing bugs that have existed for years. But I don't know, man. At some point, I feel like you just kind of have to accept the jank a little bit. Sometimes you just gotta take it. Oh. Yeet. Ow. Oh, come on. Rod my speed. Rod my speed. But yeah, see, now we're pretty decently stocked up. Now you can take a storage crate and do it, but you have to buy a storage crate or just get lucky and find one. And I know the moment that I'm actually looking for a storage crate, it will never give me one. So I just say, screw it. I'm just gonna run it all by hand. Where are you at? Where? Oh, what the heck? You weren't there. You, like, weren't there. I looked. Yes. Thank you for spawning up here. Makes it very easy to kill all of you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it for sure. Raids, I haven't done raids too much, and the main reason why I haven't done it until now is because I kind of feel like they ruined the immersion of the game a little bit. On one hand, it's like, okay, what was that? That was some weird movement. There we go. But I feel like it kind of ruins the immersion of the game a little bit, because now, you know, let's say I want to wait by an outpost until a ship spawns, which I have done before. And I wait on the outpost, and finally a ship spawns, right? A ship spawns, I'm like, yes, I'm going to hide in the crow's nest. And oftentimes I will successfully hide in the crow's nest. They won't see me. Oh, come on. How could that not have hit? Anyway, they won't see me. I can't even see him. Anyway, I'll hide in the crow's nest, and I'm just gonna stay up there until they start getting some loot or whatever. Huh. And sure enough, a big pulse comes out of their ship. A pulse wave comes out of their ship, and they're gone. They have dove under the water and are you know, basically just untouchable now. Like my stakeout has completely been nullified by the fact that they can simply dive underwater. And it's, you know, it's convenient that you can just do whatever event you want to. Whenever you want to. That was easy. It's convenient that I can just do this, right? You know, I can go and do exactly the event I want to do and get loot of my faction that I'm assigned to. So it's ultra efficient. But seeing ships dive under the water, especially if you're like, if you see them in the distance and you want to start chasing them to try and battle them, all they had to do is just sink under the water to escape you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And to me, that's just, I don't know, it's just kind of lame. It's one of many decisions that Rare has made with the game to pander to the people that don't understand that this game is called Sea of Thieves. There is PvP, and you can, instead of just earning loot like I am, you can just go out and steal from other ships. That's totally fair in this game, because that's just how the game works. That's how the game is made. And there's little wusses that don't realize that, and they get their feelings hurt, and they stop playing the game. Well, obviously, Rare doesn't want people to stop playing the game, so they're going to pander to the wusses, and you know, make the game as you know, baby easy and safe as possible for these babies, because that's what they are. They're babies. They cry when they don't get what they want. And it kind of, every step of the way, it's betrayed what, you know, this game kind of started out as. A very open sandbox experience where you could be fighting each other, right? You could be fighting each other as pirates. It's cool. It's a cool game concept. And because of the babies, the PvP aspects of the game have been made worse, and the arena mode was canceled, and which I didn't partake in too much, but the arena mode was canceled, and it basically just, it ceases to exist. What's this? Oh. Lone Cove. Oh. I just need to turn around. And the immersion has been made worse. So, you know, not great. Not great for the pirate game to lose its immersion, but it's still playable. It's still fun to me. And to be honest, like, I'm saying this as someone who doesn't even PvP that much. I only ever really defend myself. I very rarely go after people. Mostly because I play solo, and I know playing solo against a group is usually going to get me killed. But every now and then I'll try and defend myself. And most of the time I die and get sunk. But it is what it is. I'm good at ship combat. I'm good at, like, aiming the cannons, maintaining the boat, and doing all that. Like, that's my area of where I'm really good at, is actually just, like, keeping the boat alive and everything. But I'm not that great when it comes to, like, 1v1s. And that's like, that goes for pretty much any game involving shooting. Sup EV, how you doing? I'm doing good, RE98. I'm doing pretty good. We're thieving on the seas right now. Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis is the best game ever. I've never played it, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word that it's really good. I'm gonna make one more run. One more food run. Hopefully the chickens don't burn. Ugh. Alright. And this is the last of the loot I'm gonna pick up. So, last of the supplies, should I say. Billy Madison reference. Billy Madison. Billy Madison. Is that a Stranger Things character? I'm joking. But if I'm correct, I'm not joking. I need to be on this side. Yep. But yeah, like, as someone who does not PvP that much, just because I'm not good at 1v1 duels when it comes to aiming. My aim has just never been good. I've tried to get better with it, but I'm just not that guy. The Adam Sandler movie where he has to repeat kindergarten. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. But anyways, now that I'm out of the fort and I can actually have a comprehensible thought flow from my head to my mouth, I want to talk about 2 shows I've watched. Fallout. I really enjoyed Fallout. I did not really expect it to be good, and I won't say the show is amazing, but it does have a pretty solid plot. Like, the plot is actually pretty good, pretty freaking good. I wonder if Sekai has played a pirate game before. Sekai probably has played Sea of Thieves. I'm just gonna say that Sekai has played most trendy modern games, and this game was a trend that years ago. It was very trendy to play Sea of Thieves. It was the hit game. But anyway, Fallout was pretty good. Fallout, the show, the characters, the first episode. Let me say it this way: the first episode, I wasn't expecting it to be like a 3-character story structure. Like, all 3 of the main characters got like their segment to show off, like who they are and how they've gotten to this point and everything. And Ella Purnell, I'm a real big fan of Ella Purnell as an actress. Not just because she is very beautiful, but because she is actually a really good actress. She has phenomenal performance as Jinx. And in this show, she's also really good performance as Lucy. She's a character that's like really, really fun to follow because she's so naive. Like, every step of the way, like, she's getting like accidentally injured or sick or something, and she's just like, okie dokie, I'm gonna keep going. And it's, I don't know, it's like you can't help but root for her because it's like, so innocent, so precious. We must protect this character at all times. Well, yes, Walton Goggins absolutely stole the show. I agree. Honestly, this show kind of reminded me of how good of an actor he is, because I feel like in the grand scheme of things, of other actors and everything, he is so underrated. Like, he is often not really in the consideration for like best actors of our time. But I think he is like really freaking good. Willem Dafoe is still my favorite actor of all time. Just no contest for me. It's Willem Dafoe. But he's really good as the Ghoul, and what a cool character the Ghoul is too. Such a cool idea. This guy's been living for like over 200 years, and it seems like he's just got nothing to live for, but he does. he does have a reason to keep living, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's very well done. Obviously like you have watched it. Are you Catman, by the way? RE98, are you Catman in the Discord and on DeviantArt? I think you are. I think I remember you being the same person. Oh yeah, he's Cecil in Invincible. I forgot about that. Yeah. Great job with him too. Though I only watched the first season of Invincible. I haven't caught up with the rest of it. I've been told I need to, but it's kind of hard for me to. Okay, yeah, you are. I thought so. It's kind of hard for me to get back into Invincible just because like I've seen the animation, man. I've seen the animation. And sometimes it's just hard for me to like. It's hard for me to get into the show because the animation is so lackluster in so many areas. I know in some areas it's good, like the final episode, the animation looks pretty good from what I've seen from clips. And I'm going to be completely honest, another reason why I haven't gotten into Invincible is because the freaking Amazon Prime YouTube channel has posted every single major plot element of the show on YouTube for free. And I'm like, why would I watch it? Logistically, think about it logically, right? Why? I'm a random person who does not have Amazon Prime, and I've been told Invincible is really good. Well, now Invincible basically is the entire show is being spoiled to me by freaking Amazon Prime posting everything to YouTube. Like, I don't need to even watch the show at this point, I don't feel like, because I know the plot points. I know like the major beats. Now, I don't know all the character arcs and everything, and that would be a reason to still watch the show. But if I'm like someone who doesn't care about all that, if I'm just like a random person who has not watched the show and has been told to watch the show, and I can just watch all the major beats on YouTube, I'm like, come on, why would you spoil everything like that? It's the most bizarre thing ever. I've never seen oh, I didn't mean to do that. I've never seen a business almost sabotage their show like Amazon Prime has done with Invincible. But yeah, like, if I'm gonna watch an animated show, I want the animation to be good, right? And that's why I watch Arcane. Oh yeah, I've seen The Boys too. The Boys is also spoiled like that as well. Like, it just, and I think I understand the idea of it. Like, oh well, everyone's just gonna pirate the show and post clips of it on YouTube anyway, so we might as well do it and get paid for the views. Business move wise, I think it makes a little sense, right? I think that makes sense. But I think it's just bad for the show. Yeah, avoiding Invincible spoilers is impossible. Like that's the thing. I didn't even Google any of it, right? I didn't Google any clips of Invincible. I didn't Google anything like that. Like, all I did was just go on the homepage of YouTube, and it shows up, and I clicked one video, because I wanted to see Aaron Paul's performance as Powerplex, because he can't keep getting away with this. I wanted to see if he did that line. Pretty good performance, by the way, from him. He's a good actor. And and from there, it was just like every single other video that Amazon Prime has ever posted about Invincible was on my home feed. And it has like the worst titles too, because the titles like spoil it as well. It's just, I don't know. And that's something I'm conscious about with like my stuff. Like, I share very little art of the comic publicly until it's posted, because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to ruin the experience. I don't want to do that. So it's just, I don't know. To me, it's just it feels like Amazon is shooting themselves in the foot by doing this. But from a business standpoint, getting those YouTube views, I understand the idea of it. I just don't like it. But I mean, eventually, I think I will get back into Invincible. I think I will finish it. It seems like it's a good show from what I've heard from like the plot and everything, the character progression. It seems like it's actually really good. I just haven't really gotten into it. I've been watching Fallout. I need to get back to talking about Fallout. I love all the main characters. I love Maximilius or Maximus. Such an interesting character. It's like it's such a balance, and I think it's a good kind of portrayal of that, where like a guy is a sidekick to a dude or whatever. Not even a sidekick. He's just like an underling, almost like a slave, right? And you know, he hates his master. His master ends up getting injured or whatever, constantly belittling him. Constantly, you know, insulting him and everything. And then the moment where the master dies, and now the guy who was like formerly a slave to him, effectively, gets the armor, and now he's in a place of power, and he starts doing the same things, right? He starts acting the same way. However, he catches himself, and he kind of like understands how easy it is to slip into this. And I think that's an interesting thing to do for a character like that. I think that's a really interesting arc for him. And I thought that was really good. I'm not going to spoil anything else about it. That's like episode 2 stuff, so I'm not spoiling too much about it. But I kind of had to talk about that detail because that's the most interesting thing about Maximus to me. Getting turned into Finn from Star Wars. I can kind of see the parallels. Now that you mention it, I do kind of see the parallels. I don't think he gets Finned as much as Finn does in Star Wars. It's actually criminal. Don't get me started about Star Wars. Don't get me started about Star Wars. I will talk forever about how much I hate Disney Star Wars. But anyway, I don't think he gets Finned that much because he does make more interesting decisions in the later part of the season too. I think it's interesting. I like the ship that he has with another character. I think that's pretty cool. And then of course the Ghoul. The Ghoul is just amazing. What an amazing character. I think he's such a sympathetic and emotional character despite what you would expect him to be. Just an all around really, really well written character and well written show, I think. I'm not a huge Fallout fan, so like I don't know all the lore and stuff. I don't know how accurate it is to the games or whatever. I don't know how much it respects source material. I really couldn't tell you. But I enjoyed it. Anyways, Evie, I gotta go. My break is over. I'll see you tomorrow when I comment on your first drawing submission on DeviantArt later. You and the hidden guy are usually like the first commenters every day, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. It's fun to have like, you know, engagement on everything instead of just getting spam DMs trying to scam me, right? It's actual interaction and stuff. It's actually really nice. But man, it's it's just this you and hidden, and I can't remember the rest of the guy's username. It's kind of random, but you two are like on the ball all the time, and I appreciate that. But yeah, I thought Fallout was pretty good. And it's not too long of a series either. It's definitely something I could see myself revisiting, sort of like The Mandalorian, how I revisit that every now and then. Seasons 1 and 2. Not 3, but I actually that's not entirely true because I did actually watch part of season 3 recently, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if it's as bad as I remember it being when I watched it. And to be honest, I would still say that most of season 3 is still good. Like, not as good as the first 2. Like, if the first 2 seasons were great, this is just good. And then it devolves and gets worse. Like, it just randomly gets worse all of a sudden. And it's like, why they decided, let me organize my fish a little bit better. Why they decided to do the episodes they did, to do the plot that they did, is so bizarre to me. Because the bones of the story, for the most part, like most of the episodes, are pretty decent. But they just, I don't know, they just went off the rails. They just went off the rails with some of the stuff. Like, the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo was just bad. It's just, it's got to be one of the worst pieces of Star Wars ever. And it's a shame because it's dealing with a cool concept. Retired battle droids being repurposed for something else. Like, I think that's a cool idea. But it was just bad. They also had Christopher Lloyd in it. And somehow with like all that, the story was just bad. I don't understand how you do it. And then like the finale is just a little goofy too. Just like, I don't know. I think the problem was the burden of linking the original trilogy with the sequel trilogy. I think that's what held it back a lot, was that they were just really, really trying to say, hey, this has been planned out. Look, you can see the pieces here and there proving that, you know, the sequels make sense, guys. Come on. And it just, I just feel like it dragged the show down a lot. Also, the 2 years thing, the 2 years time skip, it makes 0 sense. Anyway, but that's really all I had to say about Fallout. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It had a good plot, really good plot twist. Very enjoyable show. Very enjoyable show. So I'll move on to Daredevil Born Again. We're 4 episodes in. And I'm really enjoying it so far. And this is going to be one where I kind of have to talk about spoilers. So if you have not watched all of Daredevil, the original show, and I'm talking all seasons, dang it, come on. Place where I want you to place. There we go. If you have not watched all 3 of the original seasons of Daredevil, and you have not watched Born Again up until this point, spoiler alert, tune into the stream, like click off or mute and unmute after about 10 minutes. Alright, I've given you enough time, I've given you enough chance. Killing Foggy in the first episode is, I think, a necessary thing to do. And it hurts. It really hurt watching it. The first, 5 minutes or so, it's like nostalgia overload. It's like, it's the main trio from the first series, and they're at Josie's bar, and they're talking about stuff that happened in the show, and you know, they're just having a good time and everything. It's like, man, it's just like they never left, and it feels too good to be true. It feels like it's overly nostalgic, and at first I was starting to feel like, oh, they're doing that thing where they're just leaning on nostalgia only. It's gonna be like this the whole show. But then Bullseye kills Foggy, and I'm like, this is absurd. This is insane. This is the most absolutely just out of your mind thing to do for show writers to do. It to me, it's like the craziest thing, the boldest thing they could have ever done is kill off that character. And I think it had to be him. I think it had to be him, because as much as Paige is also, or Karen Page is also like a vital character as well, Foggy Nelson is like the heart of the whole MCU. Like, he's the most like honest, upstanding person ever in all of the MCU. Maybe only second place to Steve Rogers. The difference is that Steve Rogers does this with a super soldier serum and an invincible shield, where Foggy doesn't have any of that. He's just an overweight dude. But he's the nicest, most, like, dedicated soul known to man. Like, he's a beast, man. He's the GOAT. The GOAT! And by doing this, I feel like it allows the show to take on a new identity of its own. And that's good because it is not a season 4 of Daredevil. It is a new series, Daredevil Born Again. So it needed to have something so drastic to change the status quo, to say, this is not going to be your comfort show. This is going to be a challenging, heartbreaking, sad story that we're going to be telling. And I think it's paying off so far. I've really enjoyed what they've done so far with it, with few exceptions. And I'll make those critiques known. The first episode fight with Bullseye, the choreography could have been better. I've seen a lot of Daredevil fights. All of them are good. This one is just not quite on the same level. Like this one, the punch looked very telegraphed. The punches look very, ooh, that's not far at all. The punches look very telegraphed, very fake. Like they're really holding it back. And it's a long one take, which again feels nostalgic for the show. But and probably because it's a one take, they had to work with less than ideal cuts from the action, right? Maybe they had to settle for less just to make the one take work. And it is a complicated one take. The behind the scenes of it that I interviewed that I watched, it is a very complicated setup for that scene. So I understand why this one looks a little worse than others. Plus, it's the first fight back into doing Daredevil. Maybe they're a little rusty or whatever. Or maybe it's a totally new crew working on it this time. I don't know all that information. But I can almost excuse it. I can just kind of say like, okay, I'm not blown away by this, but I'm not, it's not a deal breaker for me, right? The writing was good. Episode 1, episode 3, episode 2 and 3, all the writing I thought was pretty good in those. And then we get to episode 4, and there's just one problem I have. And if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen my post about it. I don't think the second defendant that Matt Murdock is helping, I don't think he deserves a lighter sentence. And that is probably, you're probably either going to agree with me or disagree with me, depending on your situation. Now, I would love to continue this conversation, but I am currently in hell, so I must deal with this first. Ah! What the hell, boy? What is going on? I'm cursed. I'm cursed. Help me. Take it away from me, please. Okay. The sounds, I can still hear the sounds. Eventually it will go away. I don't know why it did that. That was weird. I've never seen that happen before. Alright. It's going to be a little lesson in management. Those 2 holes at the back, not a priority. Those can stay broken. They're not that big of a deal. I missed that last shot, unfortunately. Alright. Let me go ahead. Oh, there you are. These guys, they might seem annoying, right? Hit them with a poison dart once, and then just dodge them, and then you're good. They die from one poison dart. Poison darts are going to be your friend in these Megalodon fights. They're like the best way to deal with this. Now you see right there, I stunned him. He did not actually attack me. That's because I was shooting him enough. Now, I don't know the full mechanics of how that system works. I'm going to be honest. I do not understand it at all. Sometimes it stuns him, sometimes it doesn't. And I do the same thing like multiple times. So I genuinely can't give you advice on like how to guarantee a stun. All I can really do is just tell you that it's probably a random chance. The more you hit the Megalodon as it's approaching, it increases the chance of him flinching and not attacking. That's all. That's the best guess I can come up with. But the Electro Megalodon is armored. So basically, you have to shoot the armor until it breaks, and then you can actually start doing some good damage. So once again, we stunned. Ah! Holy schmoly! Alright. Go away, please. Thank you. Get some more. Like I said, the holes at the back are not a priority to fix, since they don't really give much at all as far as water. So you're usually pretty good to just let those be. Alright, we broke the head, that's good. So I'm gonna try and do headshots, so it'll do more damage. Alright, he didn't flip me this time. But every time this thing gets close, you want to hit it with the poison dart. Every time it gets close, you want to hit that thing with a poison dart. Oh, out of cannons. Where is he? There he is. Missed. Somehow that missed. And you can even throw daggers at this range and get some extra damage while he's out of your cannon range. And this is all advice for like just doing this solo, because you can't turn your ship and fire cannons at him all the time. So you kind of just have to let your ship, you know, sit still and just, you know, try and hit him whenever he gets close. But that's the strategy. This is the strategies that I use, right? Like, this is the stuff that I do to do this solo. I might be able to dart him from here. You kind of have to arc up. Yes! Arc up a lot. Dang, he's really far out. Alright, hit him. Let me get more cannonballs. And yeah, I've killed this thing with cannons. I've killed it with daggers. I've killed it with poison. Like I've killed it multiple different ways. I forgot I should be trying to hit the head. And I should also heal. Reload. It's important to reload because you don't want to get caught without ammo. That is unfortunate. Best I can do. Ah! Die. Yep, he's dead. Yeah, sometimes the Meg will attack you out of your cannon range. It's just kind of, you know, inevitable. At some point it's going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen a lot. Alright, where are you at? There you are. Let's reload. Get some more wood. I guess that harpoon noise is just gonna keep going forever, huh? Alright. I don't know why the waves are so insane. Oh! Oh! I was hoping you would turn right. Yes! Yes! Alright. And that's how you do it. That's how you kill the Barnacled Dread. That's how you do it. Solo. It's very possible. You just have to know what you're doing. Managing your resources. And, you know, determining priority. You know, what is the priority? Is the priority killing the little shocky gremlin dude that jumps on your ship? Is the priority that? I would say no, because guess what? Eventually, after like a minute, it despawns. Like it just dies. Oh, I need to get wood. What am I thinking? Huh. It just dies on its own. So you could choose to ignore it. Now the only areas where it gets annoying is that it actually can follow you below deck. And if you're trying to repair a hole, it will just repeatedly keep shocking you and stopping you from repairing your ship. So, you know, I would say depending on where the dude is located is like depending on like your concern. Like when he's above deck, I'm not really that concerned about him. But I don't like being annoyed by him constantly, like, you know, stunning me a little bit. It's not fun. So I do try to... Oh, come on. Come on. These waves are ridiculous. Like, it's... Like, I don't know why the waves are so intense. Like, this is beyond what it normally is. And we're not even that close to the storm in the distance. Oh. I found some pop-up plunder. Come on, man. This shit is so annoying. Come on! Oh my god. Just get on it. Thank you. Jeez. I couldn't even see that one. And I don't think it'll let me get this one. Well, no. Get on out! Thank you. Oh my god. Alright. Back to Daredevil. I will now explain why the second defendant does not deserve to be let off easy. And I would do so by pulling up my tweet that a few people have been liking. I was thinking it was going to be a decent hit tweet, but it has not been. So it's the dude who gets arrested outside of a convenience store for stealing some snacks. And at first, you're sort of led to believe that he didn't steal, that he was framed for it, right? It sort of seems like that's what it's going to be. It seems like the cops kind of framed him for it. But he, in the interrogation room, or not even interrogation, I don't know what it's called, but it's where they got him held until he can do his court case and stuff like that. He basically just like admits to it, like, yeah, I did it, okay, but come on, it's food. I need food. I need to steal to survive, man. And there's a few points in his rambling that I think completely discredits this idea and makes him not worthy of getting a light sentence here. So, first of all, this man is shown very clearly to have an abundance of prior arrest before this most recent theft. All right, so he's got prior arrest. It's his, it's his criminal record. He's got one, right? He's got a criminal record. Number one, that's already like a sign that this dude is, not going to be the fastest learner when it comes to trying to straighten out his life, right? So I'm not saying that we shouldn't give former criminals a chance, but when they repeatedly get busted over and over and over again, it makes it kind of harder to give people second chances. And fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'll never be fooled again. There's there's some truth to that, right? There's some truth to that. And this guy very clearly is the type that keeps getting himself in trouble because he keeps stealing. Now, you could say it's sympathetic that he's poor, likely because of his criminal record, likely because of that, not in the aspect that he can't get a job, but in the aspect that he keeps having to spend time in prison and thus not making money. So while I have sympathy for people who try and straighten out their lives and reform as model citizens, I don't have sympathy for this dude because he has clearly been given that chance multiple times in the past and has failed every single time. And it's led to believe that it's not just 2 or 3 times. The way they talk about it in the show, I kind of assumed that it's like 8 minimum times he's been arrested. He's also kind of middle-aged. He's got some gray hair in his beard, so it tells me that he's been around the block quite a bit. And again, losing some sympathy points just from that. But he was given a 35-day sentence by the lady in the courtroom scene. I can't remember what her title, what the name of her title is. I don't know it. She's not a judge, but she's someone who hands out sentences quickly just based on the immediacy of it and everything. I don't know what it's called, but the second thing is, the writers attempt to make him sympathetic due to his poverty-stricken life and needing to eat out of dumpsters in the past to survive. Now, the emphasis is that it's in the past. He did not talk about it like he's currently doing it, and that him stealing this food was because he was hungry and he needed this food. He mentioned it in the past, not recently, which is to say that he is not currently so poor that he can't afford food. In the past, he says he was, but not currently. And that's another detail that I think is important. That kind of, if you're trying to justify him stealing, explain why, explain that justification, right? Explain that. Explain it in the best way you possibly can. And I feel like they've not done that. The writers, that is. But yeah, obviously this is a bad state to live in. But stealing is against the law, believe it or not, it is. Which this man clearly knows, as his criminal record would suggest. And because of this, and because of the fact that I mentioned that it doesn't seem like he's stealing food out of necessity, he stole the snacks out of just wanting a dessert. He even says that. He said he just wanted a dessert and stole snacks because he wanted a dessert. A dessert is not a meal. It is a snack. It is an optional thing. And so that, again, is another point to me that makes him less sympathetic, because he's not stealing like Chef Boyardee spaghetti or something like that, right? He's stealing animal crackers or whatever the things are. So once again, like, the sympathy points are lost for me. Let's see, what's my next point that I had? Oh yeah, you and many others, including myself, would see a situation like this, right? If I saw a man who looked to be in pretty rough shape, seemed like he hadn't had a good place to sleep in a long time, and was in the store, and I noticed him stealing some food from the shelf and shoving it in his pocket, depending on the day I've had, I would approach this man and say, hey, I will pay for your items. I will pay for your food. And many people would do this, right? Many people would do this, right? I'm not saying I'll do it every time I see it, but I'm saying that it's in the realm of possibility for me to do that, and it's in the realm of possibility for many people to do that. So you might see this and say that, and yes, the cops, the store owner, instead of, reporting this man for stealing, they could have easily said, you know what, here, I'm going to pay for your stuff, go home, don't do it again. And they could have done that. However, as officers of the law, it's their job to uphold the law. And especially since this man has a vast criminal record of stealing in the past, it's harder for cops knowing this information to be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy his snacks or whatever. So I don't think the cops in this case are being buttholes at all, other than the fact that they were a little snarky about it. I don't think the action of arresting him is unjustified, and I don't think it's anything that's like an abuse of power or anything, right? Obviously, they could have been a little nicer about it. Right? But and the reason why like they were probably jerks about it is they're trying to make you sympathetic for the man, right? The guy who gets arrested. They're trying to make you sympathetic for him. Plus, the show writers of this show, for some reason, just completely hate police. I don't think I've seen a single cop portrayed in a good light. so far, and that's something that the original series did very good on. They had some cops that were corrupt and some cops that were genuinely like really nice people and really good. In this show, there is not a single good cop to be found. So, that kind of annoys me a little bit. But I'm going to lose my mind because of this harpoon noise. Let me try and give myself the harpoon gun and shoot it. Peace and quiet. At last. Am I cooking? I'm cooking. Well, let's top off our health. Anyway, but yeah, the other way that the writers, the easiest way for them to make him sympathetic and to make us see, like, yes, I want to see justice for this man, is to simply have him be framed by the cops. Since they hate cops so much on the show, why not just go ahead and have him be framed? But I guess they didn't want to do that for whatever reason. They decided to not do that. So, again, he was caught doing the crime. He's been caught doing the crime multiple times. Once again, hard for me to sympathize with him. And then the last point here, or the last 2 points, I should say. The lady that's like talking with Matt Murdock about the sentencing and everything, the punishments ramp up. So, like, last time he was caught for stealing, he served 30 days in prison. And now he's facing 35 days. The reason why that the justice system does this is to deter people from doing it again. And she says, and Matt Murdock says, obviously, that doesn't deter this man. That's not working for him. Yeah, because, I'm sorry, but he's kind of stupid. I understand if he is starving and he's like, he has to have food. I understand that. But he is clearly, by what he said in the episode, he is not starving. He does not have $0. He willingly chose to steal snacks. Not dinner. Not a burger. He stole snacks. He's just kind of stupid. I'm sorry. Anyway, and the point of ramping up the punishment is to make criminals not do the same offense again. That's the whole idea of it. And you look at what happens when that doesn't happen, right? Whenever crime is not punished as it should be. Look at major cities in America that are very light on punishment, that are very light on crime and punishment. Look at cities like Detroit, California, just not all of California, but San Francisco, New York, and a lot of other places that are known for like their heavy amounts of crime. Part of the reason is because the judges aren't judging. They're just letting them out. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Have you ever watched Code Blue Cam on YouTube? Yeah. La Crosse, Wisconsin. It's a real life GTA server, man. It's a real life GTA server. So I don't think that this guy deserves probation, which would be the lighter sentence that he can get. That the only way that he can avoid serving any jail time. And the fact that Matt Murdock was able to get this guy off on 10 days, get the woman to lower the judgment to 10 days in jail, is an outright miracle. And this man is completely ungrateful. And not only is he ungrateful, but he's constantly making fun of Matt Murdock for being blind. He's just being a butthole, man. He does not deserve this. Now, there is something to be said about mercy. Granting mercy for those who are undeserving. Being gracious, showing grace, right? Being the bigger man. There's something to be said about all that. Holy crap, we went up to level 90, 91, 92. Wow. This stuff is crazy. but the writers, I think, just this is a failure in getting the audience to root for this guy, because I have no desire to see him get out on probation, because what this show will not show you, what this series will not show you after this man is free, is that he's going to get caught stealing again. He's just going to do the exact same thing again, because he hasn't learned anything. He hasn't learned. If he learned, he wouldn't have like 8 prior arrests for theft. It just, you know, I can't sympathize with them. There's several things, like I mentioned, that they could have done to make me more sympathetic, but they didn't do it. And so, like, I really don't care about his plotline. I could not care less about his plotline, man. And that's you know, that's disappointing, because this is Daredevil. The writing of the show is just phenomenal. Season 2 was not as good as Season 1 and 3. But it still, overall, the show is very well written. Where is this delivered? Spoils aplenty. Was that up here? It was. Okay, well, guess what? Goodbye. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that. But other than that complaint, I've been enjoying the writing, the plot, the characters, the new characters. I've enjoyed the fact that they've given Matt 2 new sidekicks to differentiate the show from the previous one even more. Like, Karen Page is not even in this show. Foggy is not even in this show, really. They're only there in the first episode and very short run times. It feels like a new story. It feels like a new show, right? It doesn't just feel like a season 4. It feels like a new show, and I think it's very, very well done. Other than this second defendant guy, the Punisher's back. The Punisher's back. John Bernthal, phenomenal actor. Could not have picked a better person to play the Punisher, in my opinion. Really well written and emotionally acted scene between him and Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil. Very just 5-star performances. 5-star scene. And I'm enjoying the show so far. I am enjoying the show. This is dangerous, man. We're in some dangerous waters right now. We got the brig, and then what appears to be the burning blade. Now, it doesn't seem to be captained by anyone, so perhaps we have some mercy. They seem to be stopped. But anyway, I am enjoying the show so far. I think it is actually, I think it is good so far. I'm not going to give a final verdict on it, but there's one more thing I want to talk about it, and then I'm going to move on to other things. I try not to get into politics at all. I try not to state my opinions too much whenever it comes to the channel or anything, but I do want to talk about this situation because I thought it was funny, and this is the only reason I'm talking about it, because I think it's funny. Comic creator and YouTube commentator Shane Davis, you may know him, you may not, made a video reviewing Daredevil Born Again's first episode, and he said that it is an anti-Trump message. Now, I, like many people probably, will look at that and say, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does he mean by that? What is he saying by this, right? And I think most people will assume correctly that he's saying that Wilson Fisk is a stand-in for Trump. Now, I thought really hard about the similarities between these two characters. And the only thing that I could see as concrete evidence that is similar about these two characters, by characters I mean real-life person and President Donald Trump versus Wilson Fisk, the only similarities is that they're former convicted felons who have a office of political power. That's the only thing that these two have in common. And if you're going to say that it's an anti-Trump message because the convicted felon is now the mayor of New York, then I think you have to do a little bit of soul searching, my friend. Now, that wasn't the only thing that he was saying, okay? That was not the only thing that he was saying. This one makes me laugh. It made me laugh so hard whenever he said it, because I could not believe the either willing stupidity of this man or the accidental stupidity of this man. Because he said that Fisk is not only a stand-in for Trump for being a convicted felon who becomes a person in office. That's not the only reason. No. The other reason... Is that a ship? I don't see birds. Oh, I do see birds. Normally I would stop and rate it, but there's a ship over there, and there's that, so I think I'm just going to keep on going. But not only... That wasn't the only reason. The other reason why Fisk is a stand-in for Trump is because he got shot in the head. Now, keep in mind that Fisk got shot in the Echo series, which took place in 2023. And was probably written back in 2021 or 2022 for that to happen. So please, tell me that the Marvel writers are clairvoyant and knew that Trump was going to get shot so that they could make Fisk look like Donald Trump. Please tell me. Please tell me that Shane Davis believes that the writers of Marvel are clairvoyant and can predict the future. I would love for him to say that. I think that would be hilarious. Either way, I think it's stupid to make that comparison. And you're reaching. And it's funny because a comment he made is that writers of shows these days, modern writers of shows these days, are so obsessed with Trump that they have to put a commentary piece about him in everything they make. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, you are the one who's seeing Trump in everything. You go into a show and look at a guy who has nothing in common with this real life man, and you see Trump in him. You are the one who is obsessed. So sorry to get on that topic a little bit, but I just had to mention it because I thought it was really funny. I'm not even exaggerating. I was legitimately laughing whenever whenever I watched that video and he said the line about him getting shot in the head. I just thought that was hilarious. By the way, I was playing this game a few days ago. Fought the fire megalodon, the red maw. A Skloop spawned on top of me while this was taking place. After I beat the Meg, I sunk the Skloop. Then a regular Meg spawned, and I had to kill that. Then the Kraken spawned, and I had to kill that. All within like 15 minutes. Absolutely insane session of Sea of Thieves. And don't think of me going on that spiel about me trying to tell you how you should think politically. I'm not in that business. I'm not going to tell you how to think. Me talking about the convicted felon part, that is a fact. That is something that happened in a court of law in America. You can think the trial was a sham. That's your opinion. But that is a fact in the court of law of America. So, you know, I'm just repeating what Shane Davis said. I'm not gonna stun him. I'm not gonna stun him. Oh, I'm gonna stun him. Up. I'm aiming too low. I think he's too far away. Shoot. Oh. Okay, it's just holes in the back. That's not too bad. It pushed me forward a little bit, so I triggered the island banner. Alright. Let's see. Shoot at him a little bit more. I think the middle was weak. Yes, definitely the middle. me! Ammo? Broke a little more armor off. I'm not hitting them from there. I guess I could try and repair one of the holes real quick. Again, these back holes are not really a priority because... No! Yes! That was sick. Nice. Very good. Very good. It's been a very efficient session of Sea of Thieves. Where is he? Where is he? Surely not in front of me. Excuse me. Jeez. How could it be hiding? How could it not be visible? It's gigantic. Someone in chat, if you see it, tell me, please. I hope it didn't just despawn and not give me any loot. That would suck. There's some birds over there. Is that it? It's way back there? I don't think I would have coasted that far, but I guess I have no choice. I gotta check it out. Nothing else popping up around here. Oh. Anyway, so I talked about Daredevil. Talked about Fallout. Talked about Sea of Thieves. So I guess the only thing I've really got left, that's not it, bro. It's just barrels. Are you kidding me? Did it really just rob me of loot? Are you serious? And then to top it all off, the barrels are just sinking. Oh. I don't even get the barrels, man. Wow. 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 That sucks. I don't get any loot. It's nowhere, man. It's gone. The thing just despawned. I would be lying if I said this is the first time this has happened to me. This is probably more like the third time it's happened to me. I don't know why it does this. It just sometimes does. Maybe it's if it dies too close to your ship, it doesn't spawn the loot. I don't know. Because I think the last time it did this, it was very close to my boat as well. So I think that might have something to do with it. But I can't remember if that was what happened the first time. So I'm not entirely sure on that. But that's the only thing I can guess. Dang, man. That sucks. Man, that sucks. Oh well. Let's see what loot is on this island. Don't see any... Oh. It's a keg. I'm not bringing that on board. That's something. Storage crate, perhaps. Always down for one of those. Let me get trade my blow dart gun for the grappling gun. I've been running this loadout for a while. The grappling gun is extremely fun. Gets you from place to place much faster, helping you avoid disaster. And the throwing knives lets me enjoy my cream cheese and chives. In the wonderful Sea of Thieves, away from my reality of pet peeves. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, that's a skeleton captain. They added female skeleton captains to the game. It's woke. It's woke. Anyway. The last thing I really had to talk about, I guess, is the comic. So, ran into a little bit of a delay in making the comic, and I think it's a justifiable delay. You tell me. My stepdad passed away. And, you know, I kind of used that as a sort of setup for a sad but true punchline, but it has been a little challenging. For Mom in particular, my stepdad, I really didn't even technically have to call him my stepdad because my parents got divorced long after I became an adult. And didn't really need to call him my stepdad because I was already, fully grown for a while. But I still called him that because after I got to know him, I'm like, this guy is a great man. And it's an honor for me to be able to call him my stepdad. And so basically, it's been the hardest on Mom, naturally. I've been helping her out with, a lot of stuff, whether it's looking after the dogs or helping her, just cleaning up the house a little bit or something. If I see, like, the dog left a mess on the floor or something, I'll pick that up. And, just little things. There's a lot of little things here and there. It's not like it's a lot of work necessarily. But I have, of course, been spending more time with Mom. And because of that, I've been spending less time drawing at the computer. So progress on drawing Little Miss Steel 3 has been delayed quite a bit. I promised a March finish date, and I am currently sitting at 43 out of 55 pages complete. And because of that, and it being the 23rd, which gives me, I won't count today, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That gives me 8 days to do 12 pages. And by golly, I think I can do it. So, despite the setback, as far as completing Little Miss Steel goes, I think I will be able to meet that March date. And what's motivated me to really, especially the last few days, I've been pumping out pages like crazy. What's motivated me to do it, to push myself to meet this deadline anyway, is a number of things. One, I like to be a man of my word. As much as I have criticized indie comic creators on being late on their stuff, the last thing I want to do is open myself up to that criticism. Some people would look at that and say, you're a hypocrite, even though I think my excuse would be a pretty valid. Can you just, like, screw off with this? It's not that serious. You don't have to give me 3 holes. You don't have to give me 3 holes in the ship. Jesus. It wasn't like I was going a million miles per hour, man. Come on. I guess it was only 2 holes, but I heard it 3 times. Anyway, that's one of the motivations. Like, I don't want to open myself up to that criticism, even if it is valid, even if it is like a valid reason to not finish the comic on time. I think that's a ship over there, if I'm correct. Yep, that is a mast. Even if it is a valid reason to not bring the comic on time, I don't want to disappoint you guys. So while I was initially shooting for early March, okay, sure. While I was initially going for early March, okay, yeah, I was about to say, are you swimming away? While I was initially in my head, I was shooting for early March. Late March will do. Excuse me? Man, I anchored. Ah! Surprise little tag team here. The Scoop and the Purple Meg team up against me. Did not expect this, folks. Did not expect this. Oh. Oh man, that was did you see that? That was a collateral. How did I do that? How did I get a collateral? I don't even care about you right now. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Good game. Good game. Setting me up like that. Setting me up to fail. Jesus. What's the matter with you? See how the wave raised up so I would just barely miss my shot on him as it approached? Some bull crap, man. Charge me. Yeah, do it. Do it! Fool! Ah! Like I said, flinching is a random chance. It is not at all a skill-based mechanic. It is entirely random. You just better your odds. Oh, okay. The straightforward approach. This is what you get for trying that. How does that make you feel? Yep. I imagine that's not too fun. How about more? That's all I've got. There's a Kraken over there. Can you move? Can you move? Can you move, please? I was holding R. Ah, yes. Let me get my look at these. That got him off. I'm kind of shocked they're not sunk. I'm kind of just stunned that the game did this to me again. Not quite the same way, but almost in the same manner as the example I was talking about from earlier. They're sunk. If you ever see a Skloop just stop moving, they're sunk. Is that a common thing? Anyone else who might be watching who plays Sea of Thieves? Is that a common thing for people to just call it Skloops and Scallions? That's always what I've called it. I've just always, like, you know, that's always what I've just said, just to make it easier whenever I'm playing with other people. Makes it easier to identify what is upon the horizon. Alright, am I actually going to get loot this time? Am I actually going to get some loot? Is that loot over there? Is that from the Megalodon? That's not from the Megalodon. Sweet, sweet loot. At last. For those who might be joining in the last few minutes, the big boss Megalodon that I killed 10 minutes ago did not give me a single piece of loot. Because I believe I was too close to it. Man, where is that Megalodon loot? Also, what's taking them so long to beat the Kraken? The Kraken is like the easiest thing to kill in this game. It's almost as easy to kill as skeletons are. It's really quite sad. I think the Megalodon died somewhere around here. Let me get up top. Because that's not it over there. That's just some barrels. Yeah, what the heck? The Meg didn't drop loot again? What is going on? You kidding me? I've been scammed twice. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Oh well. Oh well. Let's take what we got and head west to a plunder outpost. But as I was saying in the invincible bit from this stream, I don't post a lot of the art for the comic because I want to avoid spoiling it. The last thing I want to do is ruin a big plot moment or ruin a just the surprise of seeing a funny expression, just a funny joke or something. I don't want to spoil everything. I have shared some artwork, but I like to try and keep it fairly private. Just to try and preserve as much of the first time enjoyment that comes with reading a new comic. I want to preserve that as much as possible. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it to stop for that. Lots of rowboats today. So I haven't shared a whole lot of art from it. However, there is a artwork from chapter 3, from volume 3 of the comic. There is a artwork that is available, but you have to work for it. There is a secret on the website, and it's been out there for like 2 weeks. No one has solved it yet, which to me is kind of crazy. I didn't think it would be very difficult to figure it out. Someone's shooting at me. I didn't think it would be very difficult to figure out, but apparently either the people in Discord are just not giving a whole lot of effort, either they're just not really trying, or it is more difficult than I thought. But there are several hints that I've given over at Discord, so if you want to find that secret art, if you do want to see some of it before it releases later this month, feel free to try and figure out the secret so that you can get that secret artwork. Because eventually everyone's going to see it because it's part of the comic, but the fun of it comes in decoding it and getting to see it before it launches. What else you got for me, Sea of Thieves? I know you can't crack in me because you crack in someone else. Meg number 4 today, perhaps? Skloop number 2 today, perhaps? I wouldn't mind it if they made a new random encounter where like enemies just start jumping on your ship, like the electric eel dude. If they made a random encounter for that, but it was all 3 of the types of sea creature monsters, I wouldn't mind that. I think that would be kind of cool. It's a little sad because for how much work I put in, I have very little loot. But, I can't really help it. The game didn't give me any loot, man. I got nothing. Have you seen the clip, the edited clip from Spider-Man 2, where Harry Osborn's like, "I'm ruined. Spider-Man's taken everything from me. I have nothing left." And then like his assistant shows up and says, "Sir, something, I can't remember what he says, but he says something like, you know, we need your attention on this immediately." He says, "Send 10 million more to Israel." I thought that was pretty good. And it was like, you could tell it was like an AI voice doing it. But it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, is this full? It is not. How about now? Nope. I need more wood. What is this? Minecraft? What made me want to talk about another thing I wanted to talk about the comic was, I saw that, it's, excuse me? Is one short? Are you kidding me? That's not a joke? It's one short? Am I out of wood? No, it just decided to stop one short. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? I don't have an action key. But I saw today that people were like, "Hey, wasn't the mighty Golden Patriot from Yellow Flash and whatever the dude who's doing the art, wasn't it supposed to be out in early March?" And now it's late March. And I just kind of had to laugh a little bit. No word about it. No word about it being late. No explanation of a new date when it's arriving or anything. No transparency, man. And I'm like, come on. This is the thing that Eric July complained about. This is the whole reason he made that video. That's because people be doing this. Because, like, that video was polarizing, and I understand a lot of people took it as in indie, you know, indie comics that are crowdfunded. Like, crowdfunding is bad, actually, because because a lot of crowdfunding people are late on their comics. And it's true! It's not even like he's not hating anyone. He's like actually just spitting facts. It is true. And a lot of people hate it for him. Hate him for it, should I say. But he's spitting facts, man. A lot of people just are late. And a lot of people, some people even don't deliver ever. The biggest punching bag in this, of course, is EVS. But I've already talked about him. The main thing that I say is that if you're gonna promise a date for the comic to be released, own it. And if you can't own it for whatever legitimate or even illegitimate reason, if you can't own it, then be transparent. Tell people when it's coming. And I would even advise you to give like a reason, to be like transparent about it. Either you've had a lot of burnout, which is relatable. A lot of artists can relate to burnout. Be honest about it. You know, just take some accountability and say, I did not deliver when I said I was going to deliver, but I'm trying to get this out as soon as I can. It won't be when I promised it, but it's going to come out very soon. And then give like a expected range of time. It doesn't have to be the exact time, but give a range of time and say this is when you can expect it. Hold me to it. And then do that. That's why I don't ever give exact dates, because I don't know what's going to come up. I don't know if something's going to happen to cause me to like my stepdad passing away. I had no idea that was going to happen. No one knew that was going to happen. It just happened. Wow. A full bait crate. And that's, I'm trying to practice what I preach, right? I'm practicing what I preach. I had something come up. It delayed me making the comic, but because I'm pushing myself, grinding out as many pages as I can, the comic will still come out in March. It's just going to be probably the last 2 days of March. But it will be March. And that's what I promised back in November. Or maybe it was December. Oh. The 26th? That's possible. I might be able to do that. What is this? They want me to take a selfie here or something? I could do this. I could do the delivery thing. I could do that. Now the only problem is I've taken out all of the resources from my ship. I have no cannonballs to speak of other than cursed cannonballs. I have no wood of which to repair. I have no food of which to heal. So I just can't do battle. I'm a passive ship. I do have a rowboat just in case I sink. But I could do a delivery run. Since it's right there, I mean, why not? But it's like, it's a thing I see time and time again in the indie comics community is something gets delayed, no one talks about it, no one even acknowledges that the comic is late. And they try and just ignore it. Like, stop. And this is the thing that bothers me, is that a lot of people that are indie comic creators are very critical of, like, big corporations staying silent on certain problems with either comics or games or whatever. They're always like, oh, they should be more transparent. They should be telling us stuff. But then when you are the person who's making something, when you are the one in charge, all of a sudden, you're silent. You have absolutely no word. Like, you have no update whatsoever on why something is late. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna be a hypocrite, at least be, like, a believable one. You know what I mean? Like, just... Yeah, there we go. Transparency. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. And honoring promises. It goes a long way. let's put this stuff. I'll put this stuff on the shelf. I'll just leave the bottles where they're at. Let's see. Finest trading post, right? Can't be too far from here, right? Excuse me. The finest trading post. Easy, that's west. That's just a straight shot west. Yeah. And again, I don't have any materials. Like, I don't have any supplies whatsoever. But, as long as I don't run into trouble, this should be easy. Let's see if I can swing by this, this stuff over here. Oh, was there anything on the rowboat? No, there wasn't. Okay. Let's see if I can swing by these floating barrels and maybe grab some supplies. Which I guess I could have gotten them from the island if I really wanted them, but I think we'll be fine. No, they already sunk. They sunk as soon as I got near them. Why? That's like the second time it's happened. Why? And guess what? We got the wind. How rare is this? Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, Catman. You have missed quite a bit of action. I faced 2 Megalodons. Actually, I faced 3 Megalodons. And only got loot from one of them. The game just said, no, you're not getting any loot today. Also fought a skeleton ship. And now, I'm kind of starting to wrap up. Now. I have no supplies because I put all my supplies in some storage crates and donated them to the next pirate who spawns at that point. I just wanted to check up on what you're doing. Also, I was working. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. But I was just finishing saying that, I've had some delays in the making of Little Miss Steel 3, but it's still going to come out the end of March. It's getting close to the end of March, but it's going to come out end of March, like I said. The main reason for the delay was my stepdad passing away. But I've still been able to stay on the grind of doing art. And I would even... Oh. I'm way off. What the heck is over here? I would even say that doing art has been therapeutic. In many ways, since I've started doing art, it's felt therapeutic to me. Being able to get my not just art out there, but also just like not telling stories and stuff too. So comic is coming. Speaking of video games, I wasn't really speaking of video games, but okay. I wonder how Sekai would react to playing Corpse Party. It's funny you say that because I do have an artwork planned where her and a few other characters, it kind of shows their, like, a webcam reaction of them playing a scary game. That is an artwork that's coming up in a few days. So look forward to that. In fact, it might be tomorrow's art. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow's or if it's like 2 days. Could be 3. I can't remember the schedule off the top of my head. Was there something in the water? No, okay. That was just a shadow of the boat. I'm trying to approach this gently because I don't want to put a hole in my ship. Yeah, but I kind of had an idea for like doing a sort of multi character kind of headshot webcam point of view. Oh, it's not to you, it's to this fine young lady, question mark. But yeah, I had an idea. I thought that would be pretty funny to do because, you know, she's the streamer character, so why not have her play with some friends and do stuff like that. Now all the friends are already like characters that are, you know, that I've already drawn, that have already appeared in different artworks before. Like, you know, Valerie's there, Jay's there, and then another character's there. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but another character is there. Maybe one that some might not expect. But the backstory is there. The backstory is there. Alright. Let me see if I got any more loot that I can sell here. I don't think there is. I know I've got like a treasure chest. I can't sell the treasure chest here. So I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to drop it there. And just let whoever sails over to this C post next gets it. The storage crate's empty. Yeah. And that's it, I think. I don't think there's anything else. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, I gotta lower my flag. And get like 5,000 clams. 12,000 clams! Jay, Val, and Lilith could definitely join in. Definitely Jay and Val. Lilith, probably not. Mainly because she's like so much younger than them. Not too much younger, but still significantly younger. 4 years. Anyways, I'm about to leave work now. Look forward to the artwork of Jay on Wednesday. Yes, I look forward to it. I always enjoy fan art. I always enjoy interaction, comments and shares and stuff like that. The voting on the polls and stuff. The polls are like you know, I check DeviantArt frequently throughout the day just to see, you know, if there's a new comment, new vote on the poll and stuff like that. Like that, to me, like the interaction with the community, like I love that so much. I love that. And though like there's like 4 people that are pretty regular with commenting, and there's usually about like 12 to sometimes even 20 people voting on the polls. I wish the other 20 people would be vocal too, as long as they're not being like, you know, rude or something. I wish more people would be talking. But you know, we'll get there eventually as we keep increasing the follower count for the page. It'll get there. So, all right, well, that's going to end the stream for today. I think I've covered a lot of ground. I talked about the shows I've been watching recently. I've talked about the comic situation. And, yeah, just overall, I've been having a good time. Despite the hardships, I've been having a good time. So, thanks so much for watching. If you want to watch more, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I go live next. And look forward to Little Miss Steel Volume 3 coming into this month. Till next time, peace out.